Hello, students. How are you? I hope everything is fine. So, today we will start values and data type in Java. It is a part 1. Okay. So, in detail, we will go to learn about Unicode, tokens, types of tokens. Okay. So, let us start now. So, values and data type part 1, character set in Java. Actually, it should be very clear when we are going to learn any high level language, so that each language is having its own character set. What is character set? Set of characters, that type of characters we will use in the language. So in detail we will understand Unicode because Java uses Unicode. You have learned about ASCII code also. That is full form of ASCII code is American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay, so each number and character, each digit, special characters are having its own ASCII code. So let us start Unicode. The Unicode stands for Universal Character Code. This is the full form. Okay. Unicode character set has 65,536 characters, that is from 0 to 65,535. So these Unicodes occupy 2 bytes. Okay. And Unicode contain all countries speaking language character codes. That's why it is called Universal Code. So Unicode character set is used for developing internationalization. What is an internationalization and why Java is so popular? See, the process of designing web application in such a way that which provides support for various countries, various languages, various currency automatically without performing any change in the application is called internationalization. That is I-18N. Okay, so because of this Java is so popular, because when we are developing any website, then that website is open in other countries, so that automatically convert in their language. So this is the benefit of internationalization. So this internationalization application display contain character on the browser to end user in that country specific language. For example, if we open Gmail in America, then by default it displays contents in American languages. Similarly, in India, it displays content in the Indian language. So this is the benefit of this. There is no need to alter it. How to represent the Unicode character set? So in detail we will go. If you feel that you learn it, otherwise just definition you have to know about the Unicode. The language that support web application development must support the Unicode character set because web applications are in I-18N application. Java supports Unicode character set, so it takes 2 bytes of memory to store char data type. Understood? So in Unicode, character occupied 2 bytes. To store char data type, Java uses the Unicode character set. Unicode is a hexadecimal int type number. So in a Unicode number, allowed character are from 0 to 9, and then 10 as A, 11 as B, 12 as C, 13D, 14E, and 15F. So A to F. It has a special format that starts with backslash u and with four characters. For example, backslash u and 4x. So x means there will be some values. You will understand after few minutes. A Unicode character number can be represented as a number, character, and a string. So it can be represented number, character, and a string. Okay. So how we can represent it? Just see, as a number, it can be represented directly using backslash u and the value, four-digit value. For character, it can be represented in a single quotation as backslash u and four values, four values, digit value. Similarly, for a string, it can be represented in double quotes. So you can see here, double quotes are given. Okay, like binary, octal, hexadecimal numbers, the Unicode number will also be converted into its equivalent decimal number. So we can convert Unicode number into its equivalent decimal number. Actually, it is hexadecimal int type. So again, it is repeated that Unicode is hexadecimal int type. Now you see the example. Int a is equal to backslash u0031. So now 4x's we have removed from here and we have put their value, that is 0031, is equivalent to int a is equal to 1. Why it is so? Because the value of hexadecimal 31 in an integer is 49. Okay, and the ASCII value of 49 is 1. That's why I think it is little try to understand. Just if we want to assign 1 into variable a, so we always say int a is equal to 1. But if we want to use Unicode for 1, so how we can assign it, that is we are understanding now. So the ASCII code of 1 is 49. Now 49, if you divide or you convert into hexadecimal, you get 31. So you are writing here int a is equal to backslash u0031. So the value of a will be 1. Now for char, you have to write in single quotes. Char ch is equal to backslash u0031 is equivalent to char ch1, and to string you have to use double quotes. See, clear? So because 31 is the Unicode of 1. Now some examples are given: Unicode number and corresponding value in program. So slash u0030 is starting, that is 0, 31 is 1, 0032 is 2, 0033 is 3, and so on. Now slash u0041 is A, 0042 is B, and so on. And small a start from 0061 and so on. Understood? So ASCII character and ASCII number and Unicode number are given here. You can see 030 ASCII is 0 and ASCII number is 48. 31 is 1 and ASCII number is 49. So 48, 49, okay, 50, it goes to 58. Like this way. So A 65 to 92, and so on. Okay. So now Unicode can form only one character. To form more than one character, we should use Unicode literals one after one. For example, we want to store 123 in A. So how can we use a Unicode? You can use int A is equal to backslash U 0031, again backslash U 0032, again backslash 0033. So it will assign 123 in A, because Unicode use only one character at a time. String str1, same way. Only you have to write in double quotes. So U0061, U0062, because 61 was for A, small a, and U0063 is same as string str1 ABC. So one I'm just explaining you with one example. If you will type this example, what will happen? So class ABC public static void main int n is equal to backslash U0031 is assigned to n, that is integer type. Okay, char cs U0032 is assigned to, remember, the value of 0031 was 1 and 0032 was 2, and 0033 is what? 3. Okay, but because of different type of variables we have used here, first n is for int, ch for character, str for a string, and we are just printing system out println n, system out println ch, system out println str, and now we will get the output 1 2 3. So one, first in output, 1 is numeric integer type, 2 is character type, and 3 is string type. Understood? Now class ABC public static void main system out println U00G, if we write, then what will happen? Error will come, because G double G is not legal Unicode escape. Okay, it is illegal. Now important points about Unicode. A Unicode character set that generates the character A to Z and Z must be in single or double quote, else compiler throw error because it will be treated as a variable. So public static void main system out println U0031, error cannot find symbol. Okay, yes. Now system out println U0041, system out println 0041, error cannot find symbol. System out println backslash U0041, again backslash 0041, and it will print 1A and AA. Understood? So this is the way Unicode now becoming little simple for you. But still Unicode, what is Unicode? Why we are using Unicode in Java? Why Java is so popular? These are the questions. By that you can define the Unicode. Number 2, we can use Unicode character set as a variable name, but it must follow identifier rules, should not be a digit or any special character. But it is not recommended to use Unicode character set as a variable name because it is different to understand. So you can use but should not use, like this way. So just like this way. So output will be your, you can see, you are just printing it. Output will be like this way. Third, we can use Unicode literal inside a program anywhere, but we must use it carefully. We can write a complete Java program using Unicode literal. See, this is the complete program we have written using Unicode /0063 U0060 U0061 like this way, a complete program is written. It is very difficult to understand what is written here, but output will be A. Why A? See now. The our program is the same as like this. Class ABC, public static void main, string args, system or println, AA, and so output is A. Fourth point, we can't place wrong Unicode literal even inside a comment. The compiler will keep throwing an error until we remove this wrong literal or correct this literal. So we can, if we are using comment and we are using wrong Unicode, there will be error. Fifth, we can suffix cat to Unicode literal, but we can't suffix the below character to a Unicode literal that represents a letter or a special character. So this is the program. So why error here? Because we have used there D, F for float, L for long, D for double. You can see here in this program suffix we have used here, okay? Otherwise error will be there. So for first system out println 0031 will be 1. For 0031 second system out println L, that is again 1, the L for long. 0031 point 0, that is 1.0, and so on. You can understand that, okay? L for long, D for double, F for float. Now come to tokens. A token is the smallest unit in a program that can't be divided further. What is token actually? The smallest individual unit is called token. Okay, because of tokens we make the program with the help of tokens. Except for comments and white space, anything we write in Java will be treated as a token. Java support 5 different tokens. First one is keyword, that is for, if, int, new, float, do, while, etc. Right? Break, continue. And second is identifier, that is A1, sale, name, underscore of, underscore student, name of student, complete variable, age, etc. Literals 10, 7.5, true, false, capital A, India, etc. These are the tokens. Literals. Punctuators, there are 9 punctuators: bracket begin, curly bracket, bracket close, curly braces begin, curly braces close, square bracket begin, square bracket close, semicolon, comma, and dot. And some operators: plus, minus, multiplication, division, multiplication, or modulus, plus is equal to, minus is equal to, and so on. You will learn more. Now Java tokens, any program is made of tokens. You can see now any words or symbols written in a program will come under any one of the above 5 tokens. That means if we want to make one program, for example, we are just making a program, simple program, find the total of 2 values, okay? So how can, see here, class is a keyword, ABC is the identifier, curly braces is a punctuator. You can see curly braces is the punctuator. You can see here, punctuator, curly braces begin. Okay, Public static void main. Public is a keyword. Static is a keyword. Void is a keyword. Main is a main is a function name, that is a, you can say, variable identifier. Okay. Int string is a class. Int a is equal to 10. Here 10 is a literal. Okay, a is a variable, int is a type, that is a keyword, float is a keyword, b is a identifier, is equal to is a operator, 5 is a literal. So because of a keyword, because of identifier, punctuators, literals, operators, with these all we make a program. So these are the tokens. System out println n, system out println f, and this is the program. So without the tokens, we cannot make any program. Now come the one by one, we will understand the tokens. The first one was keyword. Okay, so keywords you know already, but we will go in detail. What are the keywords? Keyword, a predefined identifier that has special meaning in a Java program outside comments and a string, is called a keyword. Or a keyword is a reserved word in Java language inside the compiler and JVM that perform, JVM means Java Virtual Machine, that perform a unique and special operation, that is called keyword. This is the definition also. So reserved words, a word that is created as part of the compiler and JVM software to represent a value, is called reserved word. Okay, so you can see here, every keyword is a reserved word, but every reserved word is not a keyword. In Java, there are 64 reserved words. Among them, 51 are keywords, 3 are literals, and 10 are restricted words. So rules for keywords, there are some rules. All characters in a keyword must be used in lowercase because the Java identifier is case sensitive. We can't use a keyword as a user-defined identifier name, means any keyword cannot be used as a variable. Like int a is equal to 10, it is okay, but int for is equal to 10 is wrong because for is a keyword. Keywords are used to communicate with the compiler and Java Virtual Machine to perform one special operation on our program. So Java keywords list is given here, and you can get these keyword list in your book. So these are the keywords: do, native, try, double, new, void, else, package, volatile, enum, private, while. And unused keywords in Java: goto and const. Among 51 keywords, 49 keywords are used keywords and 2 are unused keywords. The unused keywords are goto and const. If we use goto keyword as an identifier, the programmers who are working in C and C++ and Python will get confusion. So these two are not allowed in Java. Okay. In C, the const keyword is used to define the variables as constant. In Java, final keyword is already there to define constant. So the const keyword is also not allowed in Java. So when we want to use a variable as a constant, that value should not be changed, then we use final keyword. Java does not require goto, const, and underscore keyword, hence they are not implemented even though they are not required Java designer. Now designers created them as keywords for stopping Java programs to use them as user-defined identifiers in their programs. If we use them in our Java program, then we will get a compile time error. Okay, from Java 9, there is a version, Java 9 version. Onwards, we can't use single underscore as identifier either for naming a class, variable, method, or any other programming element. Underscore is added as a keyword for not getting conflict with other languages like Python. We can use Java 9 JVM either for running Python or Java based programs. To run Python programs in JVM software, a new rule is created that underscore is not allowed as an identifier as per Python rule. So the same rule is implemented in Java compiler software to stop Java programming using Python. Now reserved literals in Java, Boolean literals, that is true and false, a null literal, that is null. These are reserved words. Here, three are reserved words and literals, values, and keywords. Even though these words are not keywords, we cannot use them as user-defined identifiers. Boolean literals are used for Boolean data types. The null is the default value for an object reference. Now, restricted words in Java. To support the Java 9 module system and to create and use the module in Java, we got 10 restricted keywords. Restricted keywords mean these keywords are meant for use only in module programming. These keywords don't have any meaning in regular programming inside a class interface program. So inside class interface, we can use them as a user-defined identifier. These facility added to support backward compatibility. It means for not getting error on the project, those are developed using Java 8 or earlier version. So these are the some restricted. So all about 10 keywords can't use individually. Some keywords must use in combination with one other keywords. We must use the transitive keyword in combination with requires keyword. We must use the keyword to in combination with either export or with opens. Similarly with must be used with provides. And identifiers in Java. Now, what are the identifiers? So identifiers are the names given to identify different building block of a program, such as variable, class, method, etc. Identifier means variables. Identifiers are fundamental building block of a program and are used as a general terminology for the names given to different parts of the program. That there are variables, object, classes, functions, array, etc. So you can see here, if a small program is written, then first program is class name and number is a variable, okay, and system is a class name and out is a variable name and print is method. So we are using it. Identifier. Rules for identifiers in Java. So we must, when we are using identifier or variables in Java, there are some rules which we have to follow. Okay. There are several rules for defining identifiers in every programming language. In Java, the following rules are given. The identifier should only contain letters A to Z or capital A to Z, digit from 0 to 9, and special characters that only dollar and underscore sign. Number 2, the identifier in Java should not start with a digit, but a digit can be used from the second character onwards. For example, 1n is invalid, but n1 you can write like int n1 is equal to 10, int n2 is equal to 5, int temp 122 is equal to 50. These are valid identifiers. Number 3, Java identifier should not contain any special character except underscore and dollar sign. For example, and dollar student underscore age, marks dollar underscore also we have used there, are valid Java identifier, but n at the rate, hash, a, dollar, underscore are illegal Java identifiers. We cannot use special characters except dollar sign and underscore sign. So Java, fourth one is Java identifier should not contain any space. Space is allow also a special character, and except dollar and underscore, no special characters are allowed. So it is written here many times that if you want to use special character, only dollar sign and underscore can be used. Okay, nothing else. If there is a need to give a gap between words, then use underscore or dollar can be used. The underscore is also called a connector symbol. Example, first name is in invalid Java identifier, but first underscore name and first dollar name are valid Java identifier. That means first, then space, then name, it is invalid, but first underscore name is valid. Fifth, Java identifiers are case sensitive. The lower case is different from the uppercase. So small a is differ to capital A. 6th point, the identifier should not contain any keyword and reserved words. So when we were learning keyword, it was written there the keyword must not be used as an identifier or variable. So it is here also. There is no limitation in length of the identifier in Java language, so the Java identifiers can be of any length, but it is not recommended to use an identifier having length more than 15 characters. Understood? It is better to use smaller identifiers but meaningful. The following are some valid identifiers. My name, date of birth 2 underscore 6 underscore 2002. So it is understood that it is date of birth, and first is the date, second is the month, and third one is the year. ABC2 XYZ. So ABC and TO2, 2 we have used in capital to separate ABC and XYZ. And so on. You can understand now. Chapter 4. Okay. Chapter 4 we have written, and $A we can use because dollar and underscore, these are valid identifier. The following are some invalid identifiers. Date of birth. See now here, date minus birth, not allowed. Contain special character. 14 age starting with a digit. Int, it is a reserved word. My dot book contain special character. Dot is not allowed. Underscore is allowed, or dollar sign is allowed only. So Java literals. Any constant value in the program is called a literal. Literal in Java are used to represent value or assign value in variables. Example of literals: 9, 9.5, small a in the single quotes, small a in double quote, that is string now. True, Boolean type. False, Boolean type. Null. Understood? So rules for using literals in Java, there are some rules. The literal class ABC, the literal the class ABC, this is the program. Just cut this, the literal. Class ABC public static void main. 10 is invalid. Directly we cannot give. Okay. 5 invalid. We cannot give directly. We have to use variables. We have to assign these values to variables. Then we can use it. Can't be used as a single statement. Okay. Now, number 2, we cannot use a literal left side of the assignment operator. Like, for example, we have declared int a. A is variable. So, what type of variable? It is int. So, a will contain integer data type. So, now, a is equal to 10 is valid, but 20 is equal to a or 10 is equal to a is invalid. So when we are assigning data to variable, then data should be right side of the is equal to sign or assignment operator. Okay. Yes. We can use literal only in the variable assignment or in an expression or as method argument. So types of literals in Java. Yes. Java supports 6 types of literals: integer literal, floating point literal, character literal, boolean literal, string literal, and null literals. Okay. So first is integer literal in Java. The compiler treats every integer number as an int data type. If we use 10 in a program, compiler and JVM consider 10 as an int data type. If we want to treat an integer number as long data type, then we must suffix L or small l to this number. That means after that number, you have to write L. Suppose uh, we say int a is equal to 10, it is integer. If we say int a is equal to 10l, if we write l there, okay, then it has become long data type. So if we want to treat an integer number as a byte or short data type, then we must prefix the cast operator. Example means short data type and byte data type. So you can see here we have to use in bracket if we want to make it byte type. So write there byte in bracket and 9. So 9 is byte type, 50 is byte type. In short, so write the short in bracket, 10 is short type, 50 is short type. So int directly you can use the int n comma 5 comma 50 and 800 something like. Long you have to suffix l. So n 9l, 10l, 55l, etc. Like this way. Is this clear now? So come forward. There is no byte and short literal in Java. We need to convert the int data type to byte or short data type by using cast operator. We have to use the cast operator. With the one example, I am just explaining you. Suppose there is a one program class ABC public static void main byte n1 is equal to byte 10. So byte is what? Just a minute. Byte, this one is a type. Variable, it is a variable. N1 is equal to assignment operator. This is a type casting. Okay, by force we are just converting this 10 into byte type. In same way, short is a data type. We have to write. N2 is a variable, is equal to is a operator, assignment operator. Short is typecasting, and 500. So 500 is a short type now and assigned to N2. So int N3, same way. Okay, now L, here we have use here L. Long N4 is equal to, okay, 600000L. So L, that means long number. So it is suffixed with L. So then we are printing it. We are getting it. Okay. Now see. Your output is 10, 500, 10,000, 6 lakhs, like this way. An integer constant must have at least one digit and must not contain any decimal point. It is very clear. It may contain either plus or minus sign. A number with no sign is assumed to be positive. Commas cannot appear in an integer constant. Clear? As per the number system, Java allows integer literal into 4 types: decimal literal, binary literal, octal literal, hexadecimal literal. Okay, this table shows the base or radix of each type of literals. Decimal is having 10 base because 10 numbers are there, using 0 to 9, or all except 0. Then octal base 8, 0 to 7 numbers are used, starting with the 0. Hexadecimal 16 is the base, 0 to 9, and 10 represent as A, 11B, 12C, 13D, 14E, and 15 is F. And we start from 0, small x or capital X. Binary base 2, that is, numbers are used 0 and 1 only, and can start from 0B or small 0b. Now decimal integer literal. We can use decimal number for int, long, float, and double data type. Example of decimal literals are 123, 150L, that is long, 50F, float, 10.0. Okay. So class ABC we have used here. This is a very small and easy program. So N1 is assigned 10, N2 is assigned 20L, 30F is assigned in 9, N3, 40 is assigned to N4. Okay, but types are different. Variables are different data type. System or printer we have printed. Now you can see here. So 10 is your integer, so 10 is integer having no fraction part. Then N2, that is 20L. Okay, long, no fraction part. Now 30F, so float type 30.0 JVM machine has given, or compiler has given like this way. So double N4 is equal to 40. D should be written there, and 40.0. Okay, so this is the output. So now binary integral literals. Now see now binary. So I'm just explaining you in detail. Okay, you just learn it. Binary integral literals. We can use binary literals only for integer data type. If we try to use the binary literals for floating data type by using the suffix F or D or 0.0, then the compiler will throw an error. Okay, understood? In binary you cannot use, only integer data type you can use. Example of binary literals are 0B1001, 0B100. So it starts from 0B. The binary literals always start with 0B or 0B, small, and the allowed digital digits are 0 and 1. Example you can see now here. Some example. Int n1 is equal to 0B1010. Do you know what is 1010? If we write in binary 1010, what is the value of 1010 in decimal? We have to convert it. That is 10. So 10 is assigned to n1. Okay. And second, long n2 is equal to 0b10111. So what is the value of 10111? L is written for long. Okay. Then the value of this is 23. If we will convert it, it will get it. So float n3 0b11111f, this is the error, because f will float and can be used, these binary literals can be used for integer type only. Double also, it is also error. So answer will be 10 and 23. Octal integral literals. Octal literals can be represented as int and long data type. We cannot use octal literals to represent floating point number. Note that we can suffix f, d and 0.0 to the octal literal, and in this case we don't get the compile time error, but Here, twist is the octal literal will not be converted into decimal. The octal literal as it is used as a floating point number, example 0123F will be converted to 123.0. So this is the octal integral. So example is given here. You have not to learn too much, but you must listen me uh, because you must know about it because it is in your syllabus. So this is the answer. Okay. So your output will come. Now you can understand int is n1 0 1 2 3 is assigned to n1, long L we have put there, float may F and double suffix by D and float by F and double by D. Okay. So this is the answer. Okay, if we suffix FD 0.02 an octal number, it is not considered as an octal number. Rather, it is considered as a floating point number. Hence, with suffix character F and D and 0.0 in an octal number, we can use the digit 8 or 9 also. For example, 012389D, 012389F and so on. And 012389.0 are converted into 12389.0. If we working with suffix character L long for long, then we can't use 8 and 9 in octal number. The compiler will throw an error because it considered as octal number and 8 9 are not in the range of octal numbers. The range of octal number is from 0 to 7 only. Understood. So here you can see the long N2 0567L, this is valid, but long N3 05678 not available. Error will come. 89 error will come. Now hexadecimal integral literal. We can also represent hexadecimal number as only for int and long data type. If we try to represent float or double with suffix 0.0 or 0.0f or 0 D, then the compiler will throw an error. So it will work only for int type. But we don't get a compiler at time error if we suffix F or D because F and D are in the hexadecimal number range and their decimal value are 15 and 13. You know, F is for 15 and D is for 13. So F and D do not act as a suffix character. The hexadecimal integral literal always start with 0x or 0 small x and allowed character are 0 to 9 and A to F. So you can see here some errors are there, some valid statements are given in this program and if you print it, output will be like this way. Okay, students, come forward. We will go there. Now Java is case sensitive, but in a few places it does not show the case sensitivity. The suffix for the hexadecimal number is one of those places. Here you can use a to F or to F or A to F. Okay. Both lowercase and uppercase characters are valid. This is one of the very few areas where Java is not case sensitive. So in suffix you can use small f or a small use a small f or capital F or small a to capital A. Floating literal, also known as real literal, the number those are having fractional part are known as floating literals. These can be written in one of the two forms, fractional form or exponent form. A real literal in fractional form must have at least one digit before a decimal point and at least one digit after the decimal point. Okay, remember this one. It may either positive or negative preceding it. A real literal with no sign is assumed to be positive. The following are valid real literals. Literal means you can when you are using data. So mm, understood. So 5.0 it is valid, 12.7 is valid, minus 15.0 valid, some invalid. The following are valid real literal in fraction form. 5, that means in the following are invalid real literals, not real, invalid. There should be invalid here, invalid. So 5 no decimal points, 5.0 must be there. 4 point what, 4.0, 4.5 something should be there. So no digit after decimal point, it is illegal, invalid. Okay. Here I'm just showing you that it is invalid, not valid. It is invalid, invalid. Okay, invalid. So plus 12 slash 6, this slash illegal symbol. 14.5.5, two decimal points are there. Two decimal points. So not allowed. 12,326, comma not allowed. Special characters are not allowed, like comma. Okay. A real literal in exponent form consists of two parts, mantisha and exponent form. Example 4.7 can be written as 0.47 into 10 raised to the power 1. The value is same. Is equal to 0.47 E01. So where 10 is there, write there E. Okay. And the power, write there 01. Power as 01. Where Mantisha part is 0.47, the part appear before E, that's mean exponent, and exponent part is 1, the part appearing after E. So E01 represent 10 raised to the power 1. The following are valid real literal in exponent form. So 143, 10 raised to the power 5. That is the meaning of this. Okay, 2.32 into 10 raised to the power 3. That is means. The following are invalid real literal in exponent form. So 123.E5, at least a digit must follow the decimal point. Okay. So 12.E, no digit is specified for exponent. 1234.1 or 12E2.3, exponent cannot have fractional part. Okay, comma is not allowed. No preceding digit before decimal point. Understood? There should be some digit. Now come to the Boolean literal. The Boolean type has two values represented by the literal true and false formed from ASCII letters. A Boolean literal is always of type Boolean. It is either Boolean value true or Boolean value false. The Boolean data type in Java is incompatible with all other primitive data types, so we can't store those values in the Boolean data type. So Boolean B1 is equal to true is valid. Okay. So Boolean B2 is equal to 9. It is an error because int cannot be converted to Boolean. Boolean B3 is equal to 9.99 to float. Double cannot assign to Boolean data type. How to convert it? It will not convert. So Boolean B4 is equal to a character type. So cannot assign to Boolean type variable. Okay. And string also cannot assign to Boolean. So only true and false can be used In Java program, to store true and false, we must use the boolean variable as shown below. Boolean b1 is equal to true or boolean b2 is equal to false, but we should not write their double quotes. Simple true or false you have to write. So example program is given: class ABC public static void boolean b1 is equal to true. We have assigned true boolean data type to b1, that is variable b1 is also boolean type. If b1 is equal to true, we are comparing it, system out println statement is true, else system out println statement is false. So now in this case b is true, so it will compare will be condition will be true, then it will print statement is true and the output is statement is true. In general, we use boolean value for checking conditions. It is mainly used in if, while, for executing a block of a statement either 0 or 1 time or 0 to n time. Character literals: any single literal or digit or special character placed inside the single quote is called character literal. So capital A written in single quotes, small a, /0, \0, whatever, but should be written in single quotes. But there are some invalid characters, a without single quotes. Okay, small a, /0, every character must be inside a single quote. Every character by default is treated as a char data type. To store a single character, we need to create a char variable. So how can we use char variable? We have to declare char ch is equal to a in single quotes, char ch is equal to 7. If we want 7 as a character, then we can use it. We should keep in mind when we store a character in char data type inside single quote, only one character is allowed. Yes, there are some rules. One character is allowed here. Only one space is allowed. Empty without any character is not allowed. Now see the example. You can understand with the example. Char ch is equal to ab. It is invalid. Why invalid? Because two characters are there. Only one character is allowed. Understood? Char ch is equal to single quote. Invalid. It is empty. Okay, there is nothing is there. So char ch is equal to one space. So valid one space is allowed. Char ch two spaces invalid. More than one space is not allowed. Means two space, three space not allowed. Only one character is allowed. Range, size, and a default value of character data type is data type character or size 2 bytes. Default value is /0 and range 0 to 65,535. Escape sequence in Java. A character preceded by a / is an escape sequence and has a special meaning to the compiler. Every escape character is a valid character literal. Example, char ch /n for new line. Okay, char ch is equal to t for tab. Char ch is equal to k. It is error. K is not allowed. The following table shows all the Java escape sequence characters. You can see, and this table is also having the book. When an escape sequence is encountered in a print statement, the compiler interprets it accordingly. For example, if you want to put quotes with quotes, you must use the escape sequence \quotation mark on the interior of quotes to print the sentence. Now, string data type. The string data type in Java is used for representing a sequence of characters placed in double quotes. So whatever you will write in double quotes, that has become string. String is a group of characters. Okay. So it means for storing a sequence of characters as one group, we must create string class type reference variable. So string, when you are using a string, one thing you must know. Suppose you are writing the string str is equal to ABCD. In double quotes you are writing. Okay. Then With the str variable, you cannot use any arithmetic operation, division, multiplication. Only plus sign you can use, because the plus sign works for addition also, and to use for concatenating the strings, linking or joining two strings. We will learn more afterwards. Range of string data type, there is no limitation on size. We can store any number of characters. The default value of string data type is null. Size of string data type is 2 into number of characters. So if 2 means AB is written, then data size will be 4. 2 into 2, this is 4. The string is a reference data type in Java, and it is also a predefined class. It is available in java.lang package in Java. So many times question can come, string is a class in which string is a string class is belong to which package? You can say java.lang. This is the answer. Okay, following are legal string literals, ABCD, double quotes. Remember, size 8 bytes. Why 8 bytes? Because there are 4 characters, A, B, C and D, and each character contains 2 bytes. So 4 into 2, 8 bytes. AB, size 4 bytes. Okay, because A and B, 2 characters, 4 bytes. Radha backslash apostrophe comma S fan, Radha's fan. Then size 22 bytes because 11 characters. You can, yes, 11 characters. Just forget the backslash. Null literal in Java, the literal's null is of the reference type, so it does not have any specific type. It may be of array, class, interface, enum, annotation type. It means we can store that literal's null in any type of reference variable. Example, null type cannot say. Directly null we cannot, right? String S is equal to null, it's okay. Int A is equal to null, it is an array type. Student is an array type, so null you can write. Separators, the following 9 ASCII characters are the separators, or you can say punctuators. We have learned in the beginning also, curly bracket begin, curly bracket close, curly braces begin, curly braces close, square bracket begin, square bracket close, semicolon, comma and dot. These are the separators, okay, or punctuators. Operators. Operators are a special symbol that cause an action to take place. The following 37 tokens are the operators in Java. So this is the operators: plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus, is equal to, greater than, less than, exclamation sign, tilde sign, question mark, all this. Okay, so it's over now. So I hope you have learned, and if something is lacking, then see this video again and again, you will understand. Still I am there behind you, so whenever you feel to ask any question, then you are free to ask. Okay, bye bye, goodbye.